Okay, so this was a curious thing. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. But hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. How are you? I'm great. I hope you're doing well also. All right, I ran out of my granola this morning, so I ate the last of it. So I want to make some more. And I thought, well, I'll just bring you along with me while I make some more. Okay. So I thought I was recording a while ago and I wasn't, and I was babbling on like an idiot, and then, well, oh well, you know the rest of the story. So in this bowl I've got 3 cups of rolled oats, okay? And I've got, in this pan right here, I have poured, now I showed myself pouring this, but evidently I wasn't recording it. In here I have 1/4 cup of oil. You can use any oil you want, as long as it's tasteless. I have 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of honey. Okay, and I'm going to bring this up to just a little bit of a boil here. In the meantime, I'm going to add some kosher salt, just a little bit. I'm going to add some cinnamon. You can see how prepared I am here because I didn't get any of the ingredients out. Oh my goodness, I just don't know what. Okay, all right, so I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon in here. Now it says, my recipe says that just to add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, but I'm just going to throw some in there. What you heard was my oven beeping, because you have to preheat your oven to 300 degrees and get out a nice big pan or cookie sheet to cook your, because we're going to put this in the oven. Okay? All right, now this is what I like to do. I'm going to take my mixture off the heat here. I like to add, I'm going to add nuts and dried fruit. You can add anything you want, but I'm going to add 1/2 cup or thereabouts of walnuts. You add whatever you like, and I'm going to add about the same amount, 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are salty, because salt makes food taste good. And in case you didn't see, I did throw in a bit of kosher salt in the mix. So now I am going to add some raisins, but I'm going to wait until towards the end because I don't want them to get that kind of a burnt taste. And I'm going to add some orange essence cranberries. I love the flavor that the orange gives to the granola. So we're going to add some of this. We're going to do this at the end. Now, if you want to add coconut, maybe you want to add coconut. Maybe you want to add whatever you want. I mean, it's your granola. Add whatever you like. All right, let's get this mixed up a little bit here. I'm telling you, I'm so meticulous. I'm so perfect. Darn it, I'm so perfect. All right, so I'm just going to pour this on there. Now, if you've got parchment paper, then you can line your pan or your cookie sheet with parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you can spray your pan with a little bit of oil or whatever you like, or just put a little butter in the pan. That's fine too, just so it doesn't stick. Now, this is going to go into a 300-degree oven for, let me see, I think it's 20 minutes. Hang on here, and I'll tell you. I think. Oh, there it is. There it is. It goes in the oven for 20 minutes, and then after 15 minutes you stir it, and then you put it, then you can add your raisins and your dried fruit, and then you pop it back in the oven for another 5 minutes. If you want to add chocolate chips or something like that, I would not add those until absolutely the very, very end, when it's done. Because otherwise, your chocolate chips might be unrecognizable. So, I would just add them in later. I'm not adding chocolate chips or white chips or anything. I never do. That's just me, because I'm not a big chocolate chip person, but if you want to, you can. So here we go. Now, I'm using my spatula here because I want to make sure this is really, really good and mixed up. It just so happens that today, of all days, I actually, and you know what, I forgot to add some vanilla. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and throw that in there too. I told you I was perfect. But it takes about a teaspoon of vanilla. You add it to your taste. Ooh, that smells delicious. Okay, but you add to your taste however you want. If you don't want to heat up the ingredients, the liquid ingredients, that's fine. You don't have to. You can dump it all in, but I think I like the texture that it gives when I do it like this. Okay, let me get my pan. Well, here we go. I've got some parchment paper. Let me grab that too. Very unusual for me to have parchment paper in the house, but I actually was at the Dollar Tree, and this is one of the things they happen to have for $1. So I grabbed a roll just because. Otherwise, I never have it. Now, if I don't have it, I'll just spray or just put some butter on the bottom of the pan. I always use this pan. And then I usually have wax paper, which I don't really have right now. But I usually have wax paper, and then I would turn it out on a sheet of wax paper on the counter and let it cool. So here we are. Now, remember 300 degrees. And I'll put the recipe down below for you, okay, in the description box. 300 degrees for 15 minutes, and then stir after 15 minutes and add your whatever dried fruit you want to add. Put your add-ins then. But this does have the nuts, and it has the sunflower seeds. I love the taste the sunflower seeds give this. Where do you buy your nuts and sunflower seeds and things like that, dried fruit? I buy mine at my local farm store, my Farm and Fleet. I buy them there because they come in large bags, and you know, I'm sorry, this stuff's kind of pricey no matter what, but I think they do kind of give the best price, and you get a little more bulk rather than buy just a small bag for lots of monies. Okay, look at that. Aren't you proud of me? Look. Okay, there it is. I'm going to put it in the oven now. 15 minutes I will stir. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to put this on the middle rack. All right, we'll be back. All right, here we go. The buzzer went off. 15 minutes is past, and I have to stir the granola, and I'm going to add my raisins and my cranberries. Now this stuff will be hot here. So let's just take these and put them over the top. Get a little closer, you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to just throw these in, because you know I'm delicate. And then I'm just going to gently stir them in. and get it mixed up. Now, remember, this goes back into the oven for another 5 minutes. Okay? I think I could have gotten a better spoon for this, don't you? That seems laborious. All right. Oh, now we're cooking with gas. Well, not really. I have electric. Okay. I hope you guys are doing great. I really do. And I hope that if you got gardens, you're getting some good produce, and if you like to can, maybe you're canning some things. Now, this is a really nice treat. If you're going to, because I always use this in yogurt, or, oh, and by the way, I have a homemade yogurt recipe, crock pot yogurt. I'll put a link down below for that for you too, in case you want to do that. I usually eat this with yogurt, a drizzle of honey on it, and I like my honey. And but you know what? This makes a great snack for kids if you're traveling, and you can put some other add-ins in there if you want to. Whatever you want, put it in there. And you know what? If you, in the sugar mixture that's on the stove, you can even put a tablespoon or two of peanut butter in there if you like. I've never done it, but frankly, it wouldn't hurt anything. All right, there we go. Got that in. See what that looks like? Looks yummy. I'm going to pop it back in for 5 more minutes. And then we got to let it cool off. All right. Oh, we'll be back. All right. My dinger went off. My bell went off. Okay, here we go. Now, I did lay down a piece of parchment paper here. Like I said, I don't have any wax paper. But here is the granola. I'm going to dish this out, and I'm going to spoon this out. I'm going to put it on my parchment paper so that it can cool off and dry. Okay? Now, I want to warn you that once you try this recipe, it will become your go-to recipe for granola, because it is the easiest one. I've seen a lot of granola recipes that require you to put it at, say, 350 degrees and stir it every 5 minutes. I'm not doing that. If you want to, you go ahead, but I'm not doing it. And another thing, I will put the recipe in the description box below, but I will put it, the original recipe. Just keep in mind that I am lavish with my dried fruit and nuts, because that's the way I like it. But you, if you don't want that much, that's fine. You don't have to have it. So, because the original calls for, seriously, 1/4 cup of whatever nuts you want. Well, that ain't happening here. I got news for you. I like my granola nutty. So, but once you try Granny's famous granola, that would be me, you will not use another recipe. This is the one you're going to go to. As this sits and cools off, it gets crunchy. It's kind of soft right now, but that's okay. And this recipe is also very, very easy to double. You can double it. So instead of 3 cups of oats, you're going to use 6 cups or whatever. But just make sure that you have a pan big enough to accommodate, because otherwise it's going to take more time. I like doing it in this amount. If you want to double it, then I would still recommend you bake it in these increments so that they are it's easier to manage that way. There you go. Now then, cha-cha, that's a little hot. Okay, so I'm just going to let this cool off. Some of it will clump together, which makes it awesome. So I'm fine with that. I'm all good with that. If it clumps, whoo, that's good, especially if you're just going to eat it as a snack. Okay? All right. Now this is going to take a while to cool, so don't be impatient. Keep your mitts out. Keep your mitts out of the granola. Okay, now then, I have these little canisters that I got at the Dollar Tree. I found them a while back. I really like them. They hold my granola. And I bought several of these for other things, like when I make my sugar peanuts, which is awesome. I think I showed you how to make that. Maybe I'll put that link down below too. You're going to love it. Easy, easy, and so delicious. Okay, so that's it. Granny's granola. I'll try to come back and when this is completely cooled, and I'm going to show you what the texture is like then, because right now it's kind of soft. But it's gonna, you're gonna love this thing. I mean it. You will not have another granola recipe. This is going to be your go-to thing. 30 minutes in the oven and you have granola. 20 minutes and then stir, or 15 minutes stir, and then add your add-ins, your fruit, and then another 5 minutes. So it's actually 20 minutes, not 30 minutes. And this is it. This is so, so good. Granny's granola from the Simple Food, Simple Life kitchen. Give it a try. We'll come back just a minute, well, when it's cooled off, and I'll show you the texture. And of course, I'll probably have to taste it for you, because I'm willing to sacrifice for you. All right, be back. Okie dokie. This is cooled off. So, I'm going to take a taste of it for you, because that's the kind of person I am. And I want to just see if you can hear what the texture is. Now, look at that. See? It's kind of, it will be clumpy. If you want to unclump it, go ahead. That's up to you. But this is crunchy and slightly chewy. That's the way I like it. So, let me try a piece for you. See if you can hear this. It's crunchy and a little chewy. Oh, I love myself so much because I made this. All right, now then, I got my little thing here, my little canister. So I just use my little funnel and pick it up, and I just fill up my little canisters, and that's it. Now, don't put it in your canister while it's hot. You want to let it cool down. This is just, you know, room temperature. So, that's it. That's all there is to it. Now listen, if I can do this, you can do this. Right? So easy. Would I show you anything complicated? No. Simple food. If you simplify your food, you will simplify your life. And what gets simpler than this? I'm telling you. Look at this. Doesn't this make your heart sing? Okay. If I can do it, you can do it. You know you can. I love you. You know I do. And you just remember one thing. Little is much when God is in it. Okay? All right. I love you. And I will see you next time on Simple Food, Simple Life. So, stay with me. It's fun. All right. Bye. Love you.